Miss Nelson. Pokegaurdian. Miss Nelson of room 207. Was irritated with her badly behaved class. I'm sick of it, she thought. She called her friend, Miss Viola Swamp, to come substitute teach for her. What will I do with the children? She asked. Teach them to behave, is all she said before she hung up. She went to the park on a walk. What will I do with my newfound free time? She decided to walk and walk and walk late into the night, but she didn't notice. And after a while, she fell asleep. But her restless body kept walking and walking. When she woke up, she was in the middle of 4 trees. Each had a carving on it. First was a mouse. It was yellow and electrified. The second tree had a frog with a cabbage on its back and vines coming out. The third had a turtle with water blasting out its mouth. And the fourth had a lizard that was orange and had a flame on its tail. She couldn't stop herself when she touched the fourth carving, and it disappeared, and she fell through the newly formed hole, and she was falling and falling, and she just kept on falling until she landed. Ow, she said as she was rubbing her bum. She looked around and noticed that the same kind of beast all around her as on the carving. They looked at her like some sort of alien. Hello? She said, hoping they'd understand her. They all just stared at each other. One finally stepped up and said, Char? Great, she thought. How will I ever get home? I am not from here, she said, loud and clear. A new beast. He had a top hat and a mustache. He cleared his throat and said, Excuse me, miss. We are not dumb. We understand English. Oh, I'm sorry. Where am I? Who are you? Quite so, miss. We are the Charmanders. And this is the land of Poke. Or Pokeland. Now, I must ask, human, what is your name? I'm Miss Nelson. How did you know I'm human? My dear Miss Nelson, let us take a walk. The crowd of Charmanders cleared a path, and Miss Nelson and the creature walked away. I am Charmeleon, but you may call me Char. Miss Nelson, you are not the first human here, but it takes a special kind of human to get here. You must have a flame inside you in order to come through the Charmander door. As Char was talking, Miss Nelson noticed the creatures all around them laughing and playing. There was the mouse. There was the frog. And there was the turtle. They all laughed and played and mingled together all around them. Char, what are these creatures? We are all Pokemon, Miss Nelson. The mouse? That's Pikachu. The turtle? That's Squirtle. And the frog is a Bulbasaur. We live here together, happily, and when a special kind of human comes, we help them to look for what their heart is searching for. So, Miss Nelson, what is your heart searching for? Oh, my class is not too well behaved. Your pack is very well behaved. How do you do it? Oh, that's easy. All you have to do is... All of a sudden, there was a boom and Char looked worried. Oh no, not him, not now, Char yelled as he grabbed her hand and they began to run away. I must meet with the other Poke leaders, and as you are currently the only other human, you must also come. When they arrived, the Pikachu leader was talking. My brothers, he has erupted from Mount Stark, and he will surely attack soon. He has grown in power. Oh, I'm sorry, what's your name? I'm Miss Nelson. I came through the Charmander door. After she said this, all the Pokemon looked shocked. But Char, of course. Yes, my dear friends, we have our new guardian. As order goes, she is a flame. What? You must save us, Miss Nelson. You must defeat him. But, what is he anyway? He is known as a Magikarp. He looks similar to a goldfish, but he's bigger. He can flop around all over and cause devastating earthquakes that will surely destroy us all. How do I defeat him? You will find that answer in your heart. My heart? Yes, now go, save us, Miss Nelson. Fine, only if you come with me. So Miss Nelson and Char started on their journey. When they got to him, Char and Miss Nelson parted ways. Okay, you got this. You can do this. Carp is all she heard before she was body slammed to the ground. She saw a big goldfish flopping on top of her. She threw it off. Carp? And she fell again. What do I do? Psst, try this. And a ball rolled to her feet. And she grabbed it. and she suddenly knew what to do. Car, stop! And the beast stopped. She knew how to control her class by being forceful. Pokeball, go! And she threw the ball, and it hit him. And a ray of light shot out of it and captured him. It closed around him, and it began to shake. And it shook a little more. Please, please! And it shook, and stopped. I did it. I defeated him. Would you like to rename him? Yes, he is now magic. Thank you so much, Mrs. Nelson. He was surely going to destroy us all. Pshaw, it was easy, once I listened to my heart. After she said that, a strong wind picked up, and Miss Nelson was swept away and brought back to the park the way she came. She looked around and then looked at her hand. What's this? She said. It was the ball that held magic. She ran home and called her friend and told her she would be coming back tomorrow. The next day, she walked into school, and she was ready to control her class. But when she walked in, she saw her class ready to study. So she slipped the ball into her desk, and in her sweet little voice said, "What class? How does story hour sound?" And she lived happily ever after. The end.